everyone, I'm Whitney Adams, the host of the Whitney A channel on YouTube, and I'm here in the WSWA TV studio at the 73rd Annual WSWA Convention and Exposition. And today I'm joined by Doug Epstein, the incoming chairman of the WSWA. Hello, Doug. How are you? Congratulations on your recent appointment.
Thank you very much.
Of course. In your 2 decades of involvement with the association, you're a 4th generation wholesaler in New England and a 2nd generation chairman. What have you seen in terms of changes or evolution of the association and the exposition here?
Well, I think you mentioned 2 decades. It goes by in an instant.
Right.
That's the most amazing thing.
Yeah.
And I think that just goes to show that everybody here, how hard we work at it, and how focused we are on the business, and it goes by in a flash. So 2 decades pass quickly, and a lot of changes have occurred. And obviously, you had consolidation in the business. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot fewer wholesalers than there were before. In fact, now we have 101 members in WSWA. I think what's interesting now is, although we fight together on so many issues, and we're here together walking the hallways and sit in the same meetings and have the same issues, both locally and nationally, on the political and regulatory level, we're diehard competitors. There's so few of us left now that it's one of the unique industries where we sit in the same room, usually with our supplier partners, and we're fighting each other for turf, for brands and whatnot. It's a very interesting dichotomy or paradigm that I think few other industries have. So your toughest competitors are your closest allies at the same time. And by the way, you've known for 20, 30, 40, even 50 years worth of relationships.
Okay. Well, your father was a WSWA chairman. And what have you learned from him and his role that you can bring into your role and the other chairmen that have come before you?
Well, I think the first thing is anybody can make a difference. If you just give a little bit of effort, give a little bit of time, you can make an impact. I think a lot of the smaller members don't always understand that or believe that. So we really want to welcome everybody in to WSWA. It's not about the largest members, it's about all the members. And that's the first thing. The second thing is if you don't participate, you can't complain. So you get what you're served. So, to be a part of the process, we have the impact. You can then comment on it. Your opinions are respected, your opinions are debated, and if you don't participate, you really don't have a place to speak your mind. So it's very important that you do, and you can do something about it. It's all about giving your effort and time. It's not necessarily a level of size or intellect or anything else. It's a pretty simple science. Showing up is 50% of the battle.
Mm-hmm. Do you think, because this is a family affair, this is a business that's been in your family for generations, do you think that your kids are going to follow in your footsteps? Or would you want them to?
Well, funny, I'm just looking at a photo on my phone of my children having their first and second haircut. So they're quite young, they're 3 and 1 years old. So we'll see. But at the end of the day, what's interesting about the family businesses, and I think most of my associates would agree, we're never forced into it. Of my family, I'm partners with my brother and my 2 cousins. We represent the 4th generation. I actually have seniority. I was the first one in the business, but I'm not the oldest. My older brother pursued a career in law before he came into the business, and we were never pressured to get into the business. But somehow it comes naturally, because when you grow up in a family business, you talk about it at the dinner table. That's where the board meeting happens. And so I think that the rest of my associates would agree, fellow membership of WSWA, nobody's ever forced in this position. We all sort of end up there. And it's funny that way.
Yeah.
I was saying earlier to some people that nobody goes to school for alcohol beverage wholesaling. There's no class or course in college for that. But you end up here, and thousands of people have. Why? It's a very attractive business. And probably the more interesting thing is once you end up in this industry, you never leave. And that's how it's been growing exponentially over the years. People get in here, they stay. They don't then go on to pursue other careers. So it's just an attractive business. This huge sex appeal up front. My friends think I sit around and drink wine all day, which could be farthest from the truth.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is we're heavy into logistics, heavy into trucking and warehousing, inventory purchasing, also a lot of local marketing, as well as promotional activity, finance, human resources, and then, you get to taste the product at the end of the day a little bit. But all of our back of the house resources and activities that we perform support the good times of the population of America.
Right.
The party doesn't start till we make our deliveries.
I love that. What a great tagline. That's awesome. So you're a mid-sized regional wholesaler. What are some of the trends you're seeing on the ground there in Massachusetts and in the area?
Well, certainly the bigger getting bigger, and I definitely represent the middle tier. But I think, as a business owner, you can't sit there and harvest your business and say, I can't compete with the bigger operations. You have to provide the same resources, same facilities. You have to reinvest back in your business, whether it be in channel management, technology, delivery services. Our supplier partners expect that. So although we're small mom and pop businesses, we're advanced and we're competitive with the large entities. And I think that's the great thing about this business is that those who, this industry, those who have sort of looked at their business and I'll harvest it for the long run, they're not in business anymore. You have to give back to your own company for the future and look 10, 20 years down the road.
And what lies ahead for you as chairman? Anything that you're looking forward to?
Well, that's a good question. I said in my speech, every chairman wishes for a quiet year. I don't think that's going to happen on my watch. We have a lot to work on. We do have a changing member landscape due to consolidation. We have the threats or rather legalization through ballot initiatives, which isn't really part of the political process, more part of the electorate, the voting electorate, for legalization of marijuana and how that impacts our industry and how that affects our industry. People say, is it going to replace alcohol? No, it won't do that. But the regulation aspects of it impact us greatly. And how we regulated versus marijuana are very important from a taxation, from a social responsibility, from a DUID, drinking under the influence of drugs perspective. There's a lot of aspects, the edible perspective, access by minors. You go down the list, packaging, safety, whole 9 yards that hasn't been tested yet, which we've had 80 some odd years of clear protocols and safety testing in a system that's been tried and true and works incredibly successfully, not only for the participants in the industry, but for the greater population of the United States. We don't have the issues they have in other countries on alcohol because of the three-tier system. So those are some things we look at, plus privatization. And how is that managed? WSWA is a very strategic organization. We look long-term, you might say to see the writing on the wall. We understand the trends of society. And you can't fight that. That's not what we're looking to do. But we're looking to do it in a very responsible, systematic manner, where it may be one party that's waving the flag of social good, but it's really for the good of their own pocketbook. Namely, certain big box retailers and other entities like that. What is the real purpose? Our biggest purposes are twofold. One is we promote temperance. Social good. That's why we installed back in 1933 to separate the suppliers from, at that time, the on-premise accounts. The second thing is we collect taxes in an efficient manner for the greater good of society. Those are our two biggest issues that we provide. Then there's the marketing and the brand development. But that's all come down the last 20 years or so. But originally we were there to collect taxes for society in an efficient manner, as well as promote social temperance and moderation of the consumption of alcohol. I think we do that incredibly successfully compared to other systems across the world.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Doug.
And thank you,
Whitney.
Whitney.
Pleasure to meet you.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us at WSWA TV.